This is where the cold open starts, but no one said or did anything funny or ironic. Just a cavalcade of sad sacks. Truly, a low point in this canyon.
Welcome to Nerd Citadel episode 10. Today we're going to discuss two major trailers that came out in the last 2 weeks. One being Morbius and the other being New Mutants, which we've waited for the past 35 years since it was announced. And also we're going to get a little bit into Crisis that happened.
You guys are going to get into Crisis.
Did you not watch it?
I don't watch CW shows.
I wouldn't blame any negative comments on this one.
Trust me, I've heard plenty, and I could say a lot, but it would all be third-party talk.
So Morbius is a movie that we've heard about maybe even before, I guess around the time that Venom was announced, we heard there would be a Morbius movie as part of a series of Sony movies that would exclude Spider-Man but include other characters from the Spider-Man universe. And we got Jared Leto's Morbius and a few surprises in this trailer. Chris, why don't you start with a brief recap of who Morbius is as a character?
Okay, I guess you're making me do this because I just looked it up because I didn't know who Morbius was. So, Michael Morbius is a biologist who is stricken with a, I believe it's a bloodborne illness that is slowly killing him. He's just dying and time is running out. So, and it looks like the movie's going down this path of adapting his origin from the 70s comics, from the 70s Amazing Spider-Man comics, where in order to cure his disease, he undergoes an illegal experiment using electroshock therapy and bat DNA or bat blood, something like that, that it heals him, but it also gives him weird powers and basically turns him into a vampire.
Now, it seems like, from what I've seen in the trailer, I think they're also going to borrow a little bit from the way he's depicted in the Spider-Man animated series, because I think more people are going to know him from that than from the comics. But why don't we ask Morbius himself, since he joined us today? Jared Leto? No. I don't know who Matt Smith is. Apparently, Matt Smith is going to be the villain in this, but I'm not really sure who he's...
They said his name in one of the things that I was looking up, getting research for this. He's like Morbius's big villain.
Well, I know that, but...
It's a J.
But what is he also going to become a vampire? Are we going to have like Ironmonger versus Iron Man?
Pretty
again?
much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's apparently...
He's a riot to his Venom?
More like the Carnage to his Venom.
Okay.
So, granted, that's all just speculation, because we know pretty much nothing about Matt Smith's character. He shows up in the trailer walking.
Right.
Looking very human.
But two of the real big Easter eggs that we got in this trailer was one, we actually see a depiction in the background of graffiti of Spider-Man, and it has murderer spray painted over it. So we know now that the Spider-Man movies are canon to this movie, and by extension the whole MCU
Spider-Man movies. You can't just say the Spider-Man movies are canon.
The MCU, despite what some people...
Which one of his 10 incarnations?
Yeah, despite what some people thought, based on... Because the depiction of Spider-Man that's shown...
It looks like Tobey Maguire outfit.
But it's not. So let's just get that out of the way. Yeah. It's not. It's just a little nod. It's some, artistic rendering that happens to look like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
The way that the poster looks also kind of looks like the PS4 game cover. But with the Tobey Maguire outfit and a reference to Tom Holland. I think it's just kind of like that. That's what I call a cool Easter egg. That's a good Easter egg. it's something that like you can dig into, but you know, you could also take it at face value and be like, okay, this is the setting of this movie.
I don't know. When I saw it, I pretty much saw Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, I didn't get any, like...
It looked... the costume was Tobey Maguire's costume.
Yeah, it took me, like, second or third viewing to notice that. And it's only because other people pointed it out that I looked at it, like, in detail, and I was like, huh, that is Tobey Maguire's costume.
I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
But the other big thing that we got at the end, and you didn't like to include it in this trailer, I loved it, was the having Vulture, Michael Keaton's Vulture.
I'm Batman. I'm Birdman.
Tagged in at the end. And that's really what, you know, sends it home. And I think that's why they did it, because when that picture was first released before the trailer of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, everybody was saying this was going to be set in the Raimi universe.
But, like, for me, it's like, what's the harm in some people thinking that and then being proven wrong when they go to see it? Because, like, for me, it's not like I don't hate that he was in it, but at the same time, that's like such a cool fan servicey reveal that, like, imagine like you that scene wasn't in any of the trailers. You go to this movie opening night. And then, like, towards the middle or end, he walks, you know, Morbius walks into a room, and boom, Michael Keaton's there, and everyone's like, wow, Michael Keaton! Like, I just think that would have been a cool surprise.
Well, and also, I mean, part of what ruins it, too, is it's very clear that that's probably the last scene of the movie.
Yeah, probably. Oh, I've had an ongoing issue with a lot of movie trailers including too much details. Like, what if this goes so far, that's the post-credit scene? They put the post-credit scene in the trailer. At that point, I would make a solo video and upload it every week to our channel, going, movie trailers are forgetting how they're supposed to be done. Do you believe me yet?
I think the post-credit scene will likely be the whole Sinister Six.
I mean,
Together.
maybe. I think much like some other properties, I think it's a little early to start putting that whole team together without giving us a little more teasing.
Mm-hmm.
Like tickle us a little bit more. We got to remember, it took 10 years for Thanos to make a full body appearance. Almost.
It could just be, you know, Morbius and Vulture are just like, hey, let's make a team. And then you get the other movies, and then it all comes together later on.
I still think the whole...
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't
go into it too far.
I don't exactly want them to do this, but I have a feeling that the whole thing that causes the Sinister Six to come together is going to be villains that think that even Spider-Man has gone too far. And it's going to be a la Suicide Squad. You can resuscitate him.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Citadel. We're going to be talking about Morbius today.
But the other trailer that dropped last week, well, it's actually the third trailer, but it's been
It's like the first trailer in about 20 years.
yeah, it's been about 2 years since the second trailer was released.
Pretty much.
Is New Mutants, and I'm actually pretty excited about what they're doing with this. It's clearly, well, it's based on the Demon Bear storyline, which was like a horror comic set within the world of the X-Men, and that very much looks like what they're doing.
Yeah. New Mutants are another one I'm not super familiar with, but just like speaking on the trailer, it has me interested in the movie. It doesn't have me feeling like I'm not clamoring my way to the theater yet. And it's maybe because I don't know a lot about the property, but like at first glance I'm like, oh, this is just another horror film trailer. Like it's very I have seen things. Boom, boom. Wow. A lot of like that stuff, but then at the same time I'm like, I don't know. I miss Arya. I'll go see it.
Yeah, except at this point, between when it filmed, when the first trailer was released and now, she's
gonna
like
see,
4 years younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna see in the movie, like, it'll be like one scene where you'll see her and she's like 12. Then like the camera will go to another character, then back to her and she's like 24.
Well, no, they finished filming over 2 years ago.
What the hell is taking them so long? What is the freaking director of Kingdom Hearts working on this? Jeez.
But we got Roberto, who is Sunspot.
Wait, his name is Robert Roberto?
Oh my god, that would be awesome if his name was Robert Roberto.
But
Bob for short.
Bob. Bob Bobbo.
Bob Bobbo.
But we got Sunspot. We have is it Macy Williams? Is that who plays?
Maisie Williams, Arya Stark.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
She's playing Wolfsbane. We have
Wolfsbane?
Yeah, she's a werewolf basically.
So she's just an unstoppable killing machine again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's good at that part.
Maisie Williams is playing the Punisher again.
And then we have Stranger Things.
Sam something or other.
Yeah, that guy as Cannonball. And
Which is awesome. I hope he spends the movie as a nervous wreck, because that's Jonathan.
yes, and an actress that I'm not familiar with, playing Magic, who is actually Colossus' sister.
I like how in the trailer, like, they're like, you want to tell us about your first time? And they're like all traumatized by their like mutations. Then of course they get to the Russian. Like, tell us about your first time. I kill many men in Siberia. I bathe in their blood. The only thing warm in the snowy plains.
She's like, I killed them all one by one by one.
18 men.
I kill 18 men that you know of.
And at one point we actually see her one arm turn in the metal as the soul sword comes out of it.
Either that or she was just extending a big middle finger to the camera. Well, she has to be the opposite of Colossus, because he would never do that, because he's a gentle lamb. According to Deadpool.
Yeah, so those are two of the movies we have to look forward to in 2020. I think this is going to be like the heaviest comic book movie year we've had in a long time, because there's a lot of shit coming out. Yeah. But we're going to get into that in more detail in the next video, where we're going to do a rundown of everything coming out this year. But with that said, Crisis.
Do we have to talk about Crisis?
Yeah, we've talked about it
Crisis
before.
was pretty bad. Crisis made me very upset. It was supposed to be something monumentous, and it just turned out to be a monumental disappointment.
What people were expecting was Infinity War, and what they got was Justice League.
No, it wasn't Justice League.
It was worse than Justice League.
So they were hoping...
What they got was Power Rangers.
No, Power Rangers was better.
The original Power Rangers was better.
No, the last movie was better.
Even with all the Krispy Kreme talks?
I enjoyed
that heavy-ass brand deal?
I'm talking about Disney Channel Power Rangers. Is it on Disney?
Oh, no, not anymore. Saban bought it back. But anyway, the
power of friendship is what ends the crisis.
They layered the new universe into what they wanted it to be. They stood there, looked at it, and were like, we're going to instill love and hope and all the things that we represent as Paragons into this new universe just by looking at it.
So, Crisis, it was CW's My Little Pony. Basically.
It was like
Care Bears.
Yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people have been saying, so I've been trying to stay away from that. But no, you know what it was a lot like, but not nearly as fun? It was like the Steam Guardians of the Galaxy, where all the Guardians are holding on to the Power Stone.
Well, yeah, that's because...
And then the power of friendship saves the day, but they did it good.
Well, it wasn't just like... It was there was an actual in-universe explanation that wasn't dumb as hell.
Yeah, this was just, we ran out of money, so how do we save the world? We have this all-powerful being fighting the Anti-Monitor. How do we save the universe? Oh, let's have them all stare into the light and will the universe back into existence.
I want to know how they ran out of money when they're feeding off of how many shows.
Yeah, but CW shows, the budgets are very low.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And then they had to pay
Where's
for...
all their profits go?
And they
probably aren't
but they had
making that much either. They're popular shows. But you got to think popular CW shows, you still have to stack those up against other major networks.
Well, and they had to pay for Ezra Miller to appear in this one.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
That's where all the money went.
80% of the show's budget.
The 30 seconds of Ezra Miller.
That was the one good part of that show.
No, there was a few good parts. There was a few good parts.
Like Martian Manhunter's glow up.
Yeah, so...
I just wanted to try a different look.
Let's talk about that.
So, universe-ending cataclysm.
So that reminded me of... You know how occasionally in a show, there's one thing that's pretty cool that's done with CGI, but actually done pretty well. Like Medusa's hair in Inhumans. And then they cut off her hair in the first episode. That's what they did to Martian Manhunter in this. They decided, well, his Martian form is too expensive, so we're gonna write it out. And you know how we're gonna do that? We're just gonna have him show up as a human man wearing the Martian Manhunter costume, and then somebody's going to ask him why he looks like that, and he's just going to say, I felt it was time for a new look.
During a multiverse-ending cataclysm. That's
he decided it was time for a wardrobe change.
It's like, what if, like, during the events of Endgame. Like, what if, like, in Avengers Endgame, throughout the whole course of it, Captain Marvel just had long hair, and then during the fight with Thanos and with fucking Thanos and his army, she just like stops and is like, I think I should cut my hair. And then does the short haircut. Leaves the battle for 20 minutes, comes back with a haircut. It's like, I just thought it was time to try something new.
But, yeah, and a few other things. So Oliver Queen died early on. Well, let's step back a minute. So the first episode was really bad. The first part of this 5-part mini event was very bad. And then the following episodes, following 2 episodes, were really good. And I thought they were on the right track. And then this happened.
Honestly, they could have just put a little bit more effort in the ending there without having to, like, spend a lot more money. Like, they could have had all the Paragons, like, say, put their hand on Oliver's back. And then they show, like...
I don't know.
They show, like, some kind of energy coming from them. Their Paragon, their universal energy, whatever makes them a Paragon, flows through.
I think, and this is coming from someone who has not seen Crisis. I only know what you've told me and from what I've read online. And I feel like I've got all the information I need. It seems like all the showrunners got together and were like, we want to do this thing. And then no one asked the important question of, what's the script going to be?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They decided to do this event and hope that they can coast on the star power of who's in it, plus Ezra Miller. It's something that you see in certain shows and movies that want to do these big climatic things. They think you can focus on spectacle more than the narrative.
Well, the Ezra Miller thing was funny because Nick So we were watching something else and we had it recording. And then Nick goes to turn it on. Instead of going to the recording, just goes right to the channel.
It was already on the channel because the DVR flips it over, right?
Anyway, we flip to it, and immediately we see Barry, Grant Gustin's Barry, and then Ezra Miller's Barry face to face, and me and Nick just flipped out.
There was no...
It's like, Nick, quick, rewind, we've seen too much. And that really made it worse, because I was like, this episode's going to be amazing after I saw that.
And I'm going to take a wild guess. That was not a good episode. But it had a good 30 seconds in there where Ezra Miller showed up to give some witty, fun banter.
So there were other things that I liked, because first of all, I have an issue that they ended up... so Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen became the Spectre in the previous episode, and they killed him off already. I want Oliver...
He's not done. Because the Monitor took Felicity to see him at the end of last season of Arrow.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. He came back. Wasn't that before? He came back years in the future. Well, wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
For all intents and purposes, as far as we know right now, he died fighting the Anti-Monitor. Although I need to say his death was better than the first episode. I'm glad that wasn't the end of him.
Yeah.
At least the acting while he was dying. What led up to it, but the acting while he was dying was much better than the first episode.
And the impact, it definitely had much more of an impact, especially when they went over to his team, Diggle, Mad Dog, and Canary, and their reaction to it is what really drew this in, like, he's gone.
Right. But, so ultimately, though, what this episode led to was the whole multiverse was rebooted, but the three major Earths that we usually exist on watching these shows, the main Arrowverse, Earth 1, the Supergirl universe,
Black Lightning.
The Black Lightning universe, they got merged into one Earth.
Which was Batgirl's on a different one?
No, Batgirl is in the main Arrowverse.
Okay. All the ones that the showrunners have decided can make the money are now on the same Earth.
Yeah.
And it revealed at the end when we saw each of the other universes in the multiverse that the upcoming Stargirl series is going to be set on the new Earth too.
Stargirl.
And Brandon Routh's / Christopher Reeve's Superman is no longer the Kingdom Come Superman, because I guess the other Earths got rewritten too. Their history got altered. And now, as we can see from, he no longer has the black in the emblem at the end. You can infer that the Joker of his Earth never blew up the Daily Planet and killed Jimmy, Lois, and Perry.
Lois, Mummy.
But perhaps the strangest decision I think they made with this was that apparently the universe that we were rebooted into is the Super Friends universe. They show the Hall of Justice from the outside at the end. It looks just like the Hall of Justice from the cartoon. We come inside.
The Hall of Justice.
We come inside. They have a little freaking altar to Ollie, and then Barry unveils a round table that they all sit at that has all their emblems on the back of the chairs, and then we have the Siege Perilous, just like in Arthurian legend. The one chair that the most honorable of them all is now deceased, and nobody can sit at it, marked with Oliver Queen's with the arrow emblem.
And then you hear
a monkey. And they pan to the cage, and the name on the cage is Gleek, who was the monkey that was with the Wonder Twins.
Oh my God! Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of a goddamn griffin, shape of water, but not a lot. Form of an anti-aircraft tank, shape of a sponge.
Yeah, so... Yeah, but there was one other change that I'm very curious about. So, Jonathan Kent already exists already existed in the Supergirl universe. And we know that the Lois and Superman show's coming. And we knew Jonathan Kent was going to be a big part of that. That it was going to be very family-oriented about them trying to raise a kid with superpowers. But what we now also know is in this revamped universe... in this revamped universe, apparently they now have 2 kids. 2 boys. And I have a feeling they're also going to be aged up now in the new universe. And there was already whispers that we were going to be getting the Super Sons in this universe, which is basically Superboy, Jonathan Kent Superboy, and Damian Wayne Robin. So we already know that in the original Arrowverse that Batman's been missing for, 13 years? So
he is running away from child support.
It would stand to reason that Lois and Clark are probably at some point decided to adopt Damian.
All right, Damian, go play with your friends.
Comes back holding up 5 heads.
Yeah, he comes back. comes back just covered in blood. Damian, what happened? I lost a few friends. Oh, you little whippersnapper. Since this is all Super Friends to me now, we gotta use that kind of talk. Great Caesar's Ghost!
But, any final words on Crisis?
One of the things that I liked, so I'll throw out something good for this. I'll throw them a bone. Was their joke with the legends. The legends. Oh man, did we miss another Crisis? Or crossover?
Crossover, yeah. But they've been doing that for the last 5 episodes.
It never gets old though.
Everybody was referring to the event as a crossover.
Aww.
I like it.
Well, I'd like it if they did it once.
Well, it's the Legends though. The Legends are great. The Legends are funny. They are probably my favorite out of this Arrowverse.
Gotcha.
Well, and also, my hopes also got up a little bit in the beginning because after they show the oh wait, no, that was just Nick's screw up that we saw Ezra Miller.
Wasn't my screw up.
But after in the actual beginning,
good job, Nick.
In the true beginning of the episode, it says however many years ago on planet Maltus. I was like, oh my god, they're bringing the Green Lanterns into this because Maltus was where the Maltusians eventually became the Owens and the Guardians of the Universe.
The Guardians of the Galaxy?
I almost went there. The Guardians of the Universe were on planet Maltus, and apparently they made the Monitor come from planet Maltus. So I was like, oh, they're going to be bringing in the Green Lanterns. This is going to be cool. We get one glimpse of the Green Lanterns at the very end when they're showing the different universes.
Well, I thought we were going to get the Green Lanterns. And then we did not get the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
You got pretty much the same amount of Green Lantern that Wonder Woman gave you.
How many different colors are there for the lanterns?
I don't know. How many different colors are there? It's kind of, I mean, you got Green Lanterns, Red Lanterns, Yellow Lanterns, Blue Lanterns.
Do they cover them all?
Lime Lanterns.
Yeah. White, black.
Magenta Lanterns. White Lanterns, but they don't get along with the Black Lanterns very much.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that you said that scene at the end looked like it was taken straight from the Ryan Reynolds movie, right?
Yeah.
But I think what they were trying to get us ready for, thankfully they never they could get away with it because they only showed Oa and lanterns from afar. Mm-hmm. They didn't show Ryan Reynolds or anything. But I think what they're trying to do though was open the door for the
HBO
Green Lantern show.
Maybe.
While they were at it, why didn't they show us a brief glimpse of Dr. Manhattan and Krypton?
Dr. Manhattan, give us a little Krypton.
Wasn't Krypton canceled?
Yeah, Krypton was canceled. So was Birds of Prey, but that was in this. Not this one, but previous episode.
Krypton should be brought back. That was
a good show.
Did you see it, Alan?
No.
It's worth a watch.
I'll give it a shot.
They should definitely bring it back.
Give it a shot. You know, from everything I've heard, you know what would have saved the end of Crisis? I just thought of this. If instead of using the power of friendship to save the universe, if the Anti-Monitor was like destroying the universe and like absorbing its power or whatever the hell he does, and he was like, I am all the destruction of the universe. And then Oliver stands up and is like, and I am Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Whatever. Green Arrow. Spectre. It's another green-themed person.
That would have been great if he embraced his...
And I am Iron Man.
That would have been great if he embraced his life before becoming the Spectre and kind of like, I don't know, maybe used the Spectre power and also held a bow and arrow and used that to defeat...
channeled his divine energy into the arrow and then shot Anti-Monitor with...
No, see, like,
Batman did kill Darkseid with a God-killing bullet. So...
yeah, okay. You know what they could have done? They could have had Oliver on the ground, and then all the voices of Green Arrow's past started speaking to him. And then he got up and pulled out 2 arrows to deflect lightning back at the Anti-Monitor. There we go. And then, I don't know, who's his best friend?
Diggle.
Then Diggle comes crawling out of the hole over to him. Brings him back to...
You need an enemy. You need an enemy turned friend.
John Barrowman comes crawling over to him.
Comes crawling over to him.
Which, I mean, for at least one of them, this is very familiar territory. And then they kiss, and then John Barrowman dies. Just to immediately gasp for air and come back to life. Just tie all these universes together. It's Crisis, it's Endgame, it's Revenge of the Starman, Rise of Skywalker. I actually forgot the name of that movie. It's Doctor Who, it's Torchwood. Just bring it all together. Just do a clash of continuities.
So I think that's it for this week's episode of Nerd Citadel. Hopefully when the Arrowverse returns, and, well, I guess it's not really the Arrowverse anymore, but when the CW returns and we get some more episodes, we'll feel a little differently about the revamp.
Hopefully. Maybe. Or maybe the whole next season of Arrow is just going to be like 40 minutes of just footage inside of his coffin. As he just decomposes over the course of the season.
So if you were also disappointed by Crisis, like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed Crisis, go fuck yourself. No.
If you enjoyed Crisis, you can lick all of my penis.
But no, if you enjoyed it, that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and but hopefully you won't get anything else like this.
Yeah, hopefully we stop getting things that you like.
Hopefully we get something that you're like, oh, you know what, this is how it should have been.
We should talk about The Witcher at some point.
Next time.
Next time!